Breaking news. Something has just happened inside Britain that no one thought possible. The Metropolitan Police has reopened more than 9,000 child grooming case files left to decay for over 15 years. A national reckoning has begun. But as the country demands justice, another storm is rising. London's own mayor has crossed a line untouched for 3 centuries, challenging royal authority itself. Within 48 hours, either the Crown or the capital's leader will fall. This is no longer politics. This is the battle for Britain's soul. It began quietly. Late Monday night, a leaked letter from inside the Met revealed Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley's admission of catastrophic failure. Thousands of child exploitation reports lost, ignored, or dismissed. 9,000 children. 15 years of silence. The nation woke in shock. Morning papers called it a national shame buried alive. TV anchors stumbled over the numbers. By sunrise, outrage filled the streets. Survivors finally spoke. One woman told the BBC through tears, "They called us liars. They said there were no gangs. For 15 years, we waited." Her voice broke, and so did Britain's heart. At City Hall, Mayor Sadiq Khan faced cameras, not with apology, but defiance. He unveiled the London Citizenship Charter, forcing 120,000 businesses to sign mandatory diversity pledges or face £50,000 fines. London will lead Britain into the 21st century, he declared. The announcement hit like thunder, and then exploded. Commentators called it tone deaf. Survivors called it cruelty. Hashtags like #JusticeFor9,000 and #NoMoreSilence flooded every platform. The nation saw a mayor preaching progress, while his police drowned in corruption. And then, the palace moved. Just before dusk, royal aides confirmed the unthinkable. King Charles III had invoked an obscure constitutional right, unused, since 1725. The royal power to question whether an elected official had breached the moral limits of office. For the first time in modern memory, the monarch had stepped directly into a political storm. Westminster froze. Ministers whispered in corridors. One cabinet member told Sky News, "If that letter is real, Britain just entered uncharted territory." Front-page headlines blared. The Crown strikes back inside City Hall. Panic met defiance. Khan refused to retreat. London answers to its people, he told aides, not to inherited privilege. The quote leaked within minutes. By nightfall, Buckingham Palace confirmed the inquiry. For 3 centuries, monarchs avoided public confrontation with elected leaders, but silence ended tonight. Protesters filled Westminster Bridge, candles and photos of victims in hand. Crowds outside Downing Street chanted, 9,000 voices. Never again. Inside the palace, aides watched live feeds as grief turned to fury. At 9 p.m, Khan faced cameras again, confident but visibly shaken. He called the king's move an attack on democracy. Then came the line that detonated across Britain. "How many palaces does one family need?" he said. "Well, Londoners can't afford rent." Silence, then chaos. Every front page, every news ticker. Even his allies called it reckless. By dawn, his approval had collapsed 15 points. The nation wasn't divided by politics anymore. It was broken by conscience. Journalists soon uncovered another shock. The same police officers accused of burying grooming cases had been promoted under Khan's own administration. The illusion of oversight was gone. At 4 p.m, the mayor stood beneath London's crest. "This is not 1825, he declared. "This is 2025. London is not ruled by palaces." Outside, thousands gathered at Trafalgar Square. Nurses, veterans, mothers, survivors, holding candles and dolls tied with blue ribbons. A woman shouted through a megaphone, "They silenced our children. They won't silence us." The crowd began to sing, not an anthem, but something raw and human. That night, a leaked Home Office memo surfaced, Operation Beacon Port. It confirmed over 1,200 cases were deliberately deprioritized to avoid demographic controversy. Those 7 words set fire to the internet. Commentators no longer called it failure. They called it cover-up. By morning, the nation was grieving, Newspapers showed to London's, one of missing children, one of smiling politicians. The headline read, "Only one has a voice." Then, at sunrise, the palace issued just 9 words: "The protection of the innocent transcends all politics." No signature, no title, just truth. And it thundered louder than any speech. Polls collapsed. Even Khan's allies turned away. The opposition demanded a full inquiry into City Hall's conduct. Reporters swarmed Westminster. Inside, aides whispered of resignations and deleted tweets. Britain wasn't watching a scandal. It was witnessing a reckoning. By nightfall, protests stretched from Tower Bridge to Westminster Square. 70,000 people stood together. Survivors, veterans, teachers, priests. They weren't chanting for parties. They were chanting for truth. Police didn't clash. They simply stood, silent, heads bowed. From the balcony of Buckingham Palace, the king looked down at the sea of candles. Then, for the first time in years, he bowed his head. The crowd fell silent, and in that silence, truth finally felt real. 2 days later, Parliament voted. The motion of no confidence passed, overwhelmingly. Sadiq Khan was finished. He didn't appear. He didn't speak. City Hall went dark. Across Britain, church bells tolled, not for him, but for the 9,000 forgotten children whose voices had finally been heard. That night, one last image spread across the world. A white rose pinned to City Hall's gate, glistening in the drizzle. Beneath it, a handwritten note: "Truth always finds its voice," because in the end, this was never about politics or palaces. It was about conscience, the one thing no power can silence. And as Britain turned the page, one truth remained: when justice awakens, no one, not kings, not mayors, not governments, can stop it.